Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today on our first ever live. And I'd be lying if I told you if I wasn't just a little bit nervous. But I've got a very good friend joining me this morning, Allison Schexnayder. Say hello to everyone. Hi, glad to have you here. So you're our first little guinea pig here, and I thought you were the perfect choice. Because this TV show, we're going to do this every Friday morning at 9 Mountain Time. And it's really geared towards artists, plein air painters, because of course the Eagle Plein Air Festival is coming up. And we just are really committed to giving artists the tools that they need to be more successful. And Allison, that's why you're here to talk about, self-promotion and marketing and those kind of things that many artists honestly need help with. So welcome.
Hi, thank you. It's always nice to see your pretty face.
Oh, yeah, thanks. So Allison and I worked together for years. She does all my graphic design work and website work and whatnot. So if you like what you see on eaglepleinair.com, it's largely due to Allison and what she's been able to do for us. So anyway, so Allison, I know you've had gobs and gobs of experience promoting your own business and businesses and whatnot, but what can you share with artists today about what they can do to really promote themselves when they're out during the festival and even beyond?
Yeah, so artists have it pretty uniquely compared to other people because it's a bit different for an artist selling, like your little true loves, all these little precious things that you put all this time into, other than like some dude who's selling iPhone cases. It's a little bit different. So when we talk about marketing, it's a very deep ocean of information, and it's really easy to feel super overwhelmed because you've got advertising and websites and SEO and logos and it's a lot. So really what it all boils down to, if you look at all the different aspects of marketing, it all comes down to these three categories. And what that is your personal branding, your online presence, and then your community presence. And as long as you are doing something in all of those three categories, then you are able to have a more well-rounded marketing experience. And at least you're kind of getting in, even if you're not going full force, you're getting something in all those main categories so people can find you and they know how to use you and such.
Okay, so let's start with the first. Let's start with personal branding. Okay, what is an artist who's just might be a painter that's transitioning from kind of into a hobby into really looking to sell more work? What do they need to be doing in regards to their personal branding?
Okay, so first thing would be they need to figure out what is their technical term. They need to figure out what is their shtick. Okay, so maybe you are we're talking to plein air painters. So if you are the barn guy, you love painting barns, that is your shtick. Maybe seascapes is your thing, or maybe botanicals, or maybe you like to plein air paint people just like sitting on benches or whatever. So the more narrow of a focus that you can get about really what you like to do and what you do best, the better of a full-rounded idea you'll have when you're dealing with these other two categories of your online presence and your community presence, because it all needs to point towards your same main idea, which is your shtick. So let's say that you are the barn guy. For example, that doesn't really mean that you can't paint other things. It just means that if you want to be the barn guy, you need to have the barn photos on your website, and you need to go out and about and have barn, postcards and talk to people about the barns and all these different things. So that's not to say that you can't do other things and branch out, but you really need to know what your strength is and your shtick. So then on top of that, you have one more question to ask yourself, and that is, how do you want to make the money doing your shtick? Do you prefer to spend a lot of time, 6 months at a time, get a whole bunch of paintings together, and then show all at one time at a wonderful gallery like the Gallery at Fine Frames?
Thank you.
Or are you a festival person? You'd rather go take everything outdoors and sell to people outside? Or do you want to teach painting? I mean, there's lots of money in teaching also. So you really need to get clear on what your shtick is and then how you want to make your money. And once you know those two things, the answers to all of these other marketing questions become a lot easier.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, great. And so regarding marketing, particularly online, right? So imagine this scenario when artists are here during the festival, right? And they're out. We've expanded the boundaries this year, so it's all of Ada and Canyon County. So artists are going to be everywhere. But here's the thing. We get people in the gallery all the time wanting to know where the painters are. So I know you're a social media expert. So can you share with the artists, the watching today, so some tips on how they can leverage social media and talk about hashtags and how they can be found during the festival by these people that want to connect with them and see what they're painting?
Yes. So you're watching on Facebook. So at least I know that you're on Facebook. So an easy way to check in with people on Facebook is actually called Facebook check-ins. And basically what you're doing is marking your exact location at that time so people can find you. So if you're on Facebook, where you would normally, there's that I think it's the post box at the very top of your home feed. And it has like image and post. And then on the very right is a little button that says check-in. So next time you are out and about and you want people to know exactly where you are, to come find you, just click that little check-in button. And then you add your coordinates of where you are and say what you're doing. You can post a little picture and then people can come and find you specifically there. And another great way to tell people where you are is on Instagram. And if you're not on Instagram, you should be on Instagram, especially for artists, because we are very visual and it's like visual crack. I love Instagram. Okay, I need like a rehab program from Instagram. I love it so much. So if you're not on Instagram, you really should be. And if you're not sure what Instagram is, basically it's like Facebook, but only for images. So you still have a way to connect with other people. You can message them directly and see their profiles, but all they're posting is just pictures. And what's great about Instagram is that it's a full community full of creative artists, I mean, painters, sculptors. I mean, it's everybody. My Instagram feed personally is filled with cookie decorating videos and friendship videos. It's like I'm 10 years old. But
you're a young mom of some beautiful.
Yeah. I just like, those are my old hobbies and I love them the most.
Yeah.
But, so you can really curate what you see on Instagram, and it's a great way to get in touch with people who are, you know, excellent plein air painters, but you would never meet because they're in Massachusetts or, you know, somewhere crazy for Australia, you know? Right. So, but the importance of Instagram is that once you get an account set up, you can start posting pictures of your paintings. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. People love on Instagram to see in progress work, because people are very interested in your process. Yeah. I mean, the end painting is gorgeous, but think about how invested you are as a painter when you're painting this whole thing. And then when you get done, it's not just about the end product. I mean, think about how much time and effort and how much time you spent just standing there that whole day. And there's just like a feeling that comes with that. And Instagram people can't get that from your final photo. But if you post these in progress photos, they get invested. They like to see your process. It's interested, you know, they'll be interested. Wow, that's weird that he started with, you know, the trees instead of the sky or whatever it is.
And I love that you brought that up, Allison, because as a gallery owner, I got to tell you that people buy for personal reasons, no matter what, whether it's custom framing or original artwork, they buy for personal reasons. And anytime an artist can make that personal connection by sharing the experience, the motivation, and the process, and to have an audience follow that through social media, through pictures, postings on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you're using, that is marketing magic. And I hope you all watching today get that giving people a little window into your process can really solidify your audience and really help build your personal brand. So I love it.
Right. Yeah, because your painting is you and your painting. It's not just your painting at the end. And so if you're not featuring yourself at all, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, especially in your sales, because people are going to be so much more invested in seeing what you as a person have created. I think that is so much more special than like, oh, here's a pretty painting for the wall. You need to see the person creating it and really know how much time and effort and love went into it.
I think that's really huge.
Yeah.
So you mentioned community too. So, and hashtags a little bit. So I want people to really understand how the hashtags work and how when they hashtag Eagle Plein Air, how an audience is going to find them. So can you talk about how they can really leverage that on social media and get found locally where they're painting?
So if you're not really sure of what a hashtag is basically a keyword that people can use to search for you and specifically what you're doing. And it's the keyword preceded by the old school pound sign. The kids don't even know these days. They just call it a hashtag. I want to slap them in the face. It's not a hashtag, it's a pound sign. Anyway, so what's really important about hashtags, and both Facebook and Instagram and most of the large social media sites, Twitter, they all use hashtags, okay? So saving something to Instagram, you're going to post a post. If you don't use a hashtag, that is the same as saving a file to your computer without naming it. You know where it is. Maybe your family knows where it is. Maybe. But that's it. Nobody else knows where it is, and they can't find it. So think about your hashtag as your file name for your photos that you're posting.
Okay.
So,
and you use more than one, right?
Oh, yeah. You want to use, sometimes they can get a little bit annoying, honestly, if people use like 30 of them. But it's kind of common practice, so lots of people kind of start to look past using that many hashtags. But it's important that you want to use a combination of really broad, large range hashtags, like if you use the hashtag painting. That's huge. The amount of hits that you're going to get on that hashtag is a lot bigger than if you did plein air painting. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that you kind of have a range of these large tags and these very specific small tags. So a larger audience can find you accidentally, and your small audience can find you really, really easily. And at that same point, wherever you're painting, you want to hashtag your city too. So if you're in Eagle, Idaho, hashtag Eagle, Idaho, or use hashtag Eagle Plein Air. And basically, when people find your hashtag, it's because they are searching for that hashtag. They are literally looking for you, and up you pop. And what's great about Instagram is that you can follow hashtags now. This is just a new thing that started maybe like 3 months ago or something. But before you couldn't follow a hashtag, you could only follow certain people. But now they have made it available to you so that you can follow a hashtag plein air painters. And you'll see all these plein air painting posts that come up in your Instagram feed. Anybody who's used that tag will come up. And so it makes it a lot easier for you to follow other people because they're constantly there. So anytime you see something
and let me ask you about this too, Allison, because that's a really interesting point. So if painters that are in the festival and they hashtag their painting onto these trending hashtags like you were just talking about, that means they're going to be included in that group, right?
Oh, yeah. So if I search Eagle Plein Air, everybody who's at Eagle Plein Air using that hashtag will show up at the same time. So this is a great way to get to know your fellow painters that are also there. And it's almost kind of like a little foot in the door. Sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating to go up to somebody that you've never met. I don't know, let's talk about whatever. We're both at this place together, so I guess we should be friends. It's kind of awkward. But if you go through and you search for this hashtag, it's really easy to find these other people, and you can go up to them and say, hey, I saw your post on Instagram. I follow you. You should follow me. Here's my Instagram name. So there's a lot of different ways that you can interact and have a little budding community of your painters that you're curating on your Instagram feed.
Well, and you're already making me think ahead to this, because what I'm thinking about is like, okay, I'm going to tell my audience, right? All the community of Eagle and beyond that want to come watch the painters, buy paintings, attend the events and whatnot. This is what I'm going to communicate. I'm going to tell the audience to say, hey, go on Instagram, Facebook, and do this search, this hashtag search, hashtag Eagle Plein Air. So then all the painters that are out there using that hashtag, the audience is going to find. So what a fabulous way to connect and build their following and whatnot. So that's
right. You need to find each other. That's how you build your little community. And that is the third part of this, this whole marketing segment is we went over your personal branding and your online presence. And the third is your community presence. And there's a lot that you can do for that. I mean, Eagle Plein Air is an excellent place to start. And the more festivals and events like that you can do, the better. One of the really great places to find groups to meet up with is actually meetup.com.
Yes.
And it's full of these groups, and you can search for anything. I mean,
the Plein Air Painters of Idaho is very, very active on Meetup.
Oh, good. I didn't even know that. Okay, good. So yeah, if you join them, they'll post a schedule of all the different places they're going to go. And the more active you are in the community, the more people are going to see you. I mean, the places that you go and paint that are more populated, the more people can see you, the better. And it's really important while you're out there to have something to take with you so that people can, take your card, bring a business card, bring some little freebie postcards. I mean, something so that they can basically take you home with them and remember you later.
Well, okay. And I love that, except it's a little passive, right? It's like you don't know what they're going to do with the card afterwards. I like that idea, but what can artists do to maybe connect with that person? Like, what's a clever way to ask for an email or,
free stuff.
Okay. All right.
People are cheap and they love free stuff. So, but you're right. Emails, you need the emails because basically when you get somebody's email, you are saying, hey, I'm going to follow up with you. You're important to me. I'm going to keep you on my mind. And whereas if you hand out a business card, I mean, it's good that they have you. You need to be doing that anyways. But if you never check back in with them, your sales are out the door. Goodbye. I mean, people aren't going to remember every single artist that they've ever met in their life and check back in with them regularly. You need to be on the forefront of people's minds. And the way to do that is to get their email and send them out regular emails. So a great way to get people to sign up is a little freebie. I would think it would be, there's lots of different ways to do it. If you printed it wouldn't be very expensive. Maybe if you printed 100 postcards of one of your paintings and then gave out a free postcard for their email address. I think that would be a really cool idea. It wouldn't cost you much and you'd probably get quite a few addresses. Or what could be cool if you take let's say you got a good high resolution picture of one of your paintings, you could give that out as a screensaver in a file download. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can give something that's small. It's not going to cost you a lot. It'll help them remember you. And then, at the end of the day, you have their email and you can talk to them. Whenever you have a new sale going on, you're showing at a gallery, we're going to be painting on Saturday. I mean, you need to be in the forefront of people's minds.
Right. Good stuff, Allison. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure.
If any of you out there have questions, you can find Allison online. And also, she's also my tech guru. So if you email info@eaglepleinair.com, I think Allison gets to see that as well.
Yes.
So
on the Facebook group, you can find me there too.
Yes, awesome. Yes, she is in our Eagle Plein Air Artists Facebook group. So, well, great. Well, thank you all for watching. I got a lot of nice comments and people checking in with us. So thank you for sticking with us. And hey, if you like this, share it. We're going to tackle a different topic every week. Next Friday morning, we've got Bonnie Griffiths, who is going to talk about what makes a winning painting. So you want to tune in, listen to that, because guess what? She's our juror. She's the judge of the festival this year.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Right? She's going to have good inside info. And we've got all the greats, the schedule, how to register, everything online at eaglepleinair.com. So
It's sassy and new and beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. Allison,
If I say so myself.
Thank you, Allison, so much. You were fabulous today, as always. So hug those sweet little babies and tell Matt thanks for hanging in there too.
I will. I pawned him off on him.
Watching the kiddos. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next Friday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.